Continues with us. So, Jack, what does the Bible say about the rapture?
Yep, the Bible talks about the rapture in several locations. People need to understand something, that if they are reading an English Bible, Charlie, they will not find the word rapture. Somebody will say, the word rapture is not in the Bible. The word rapture is not in the English Bible. The word rapture is found in the Latin Bible. And so the King James translators, for example, they understood that the English, the best that we can do for the English to relate to the word rapture or rapturus in Latin is two-word compound. In the English, it's caught up. We will be caught up to meet the Lord in the air. 1 Thessalonians chapter 4, verses 13 to 18. It's in the Bible. If you're reading your Latin Bible in Latin, it's right there. But if you're reading, for example, Greek, Charlie, in the Greek Bible, it's the word harpazo. Caught up in English, harpazo in Greek, and rapture in Latin all means the exact same word. To be violently or quickly removed in the context is away from the earth. How do we know? John 14, verses 1 to 3, Jesus said it himself, I'm going to go away and to prepare a place for you. And if I go, I will come again and receive you unto myself, that where I am, there you may be also. 1 Thessalonians 4 says that we will be those who have died, bodies resurrected at the rapture, and those who are alive shall be caught up, rapture, harpazo, to meet them, that is the deceased who have died before us, and meet them in the air and be with the Lord forever. So people who say it's not in the Bible, they need to understand that they get bogged down with the word rapture. How about this? Harpazo. Forget about the word rapture. Talk about harpazo. It's Greek. For us, it's closer to our understanding, but caught up in the English. It's going to happen. It's promised to the church. And people get, Charlie, what you're really scratching on now is very important doctrine. And you are what's known as a futurist, premillennial, pre-tribulationist. What does that mean? It means that we take the Bible literally, where it says literally, and when it's typological, the Bible says so. For example, the Bible says that the Spirit of God descended upon Jesus like a dove. That means we know a dove did not land on Jesus' shoulders when he was baptized. It was like a dove. However, when it's talking about the catching away of the saints, listen to this. Luke 21:36 says that when you see all these things beginning to happen in the world around you, look up and pray that you escape all these things that are coming upon the earth. That's a reference to the rapture. There are many references, Charlie. We need to get away from our denominational isms and let the Bible speak to us itself and stop trying to read things into it. And we won't go astray if we read the word and let the word speak to us.
So Jack, let me ask you, that topic is a source of such contention. Why do you think that is? Why do you think there's such passion? Because we're receiving emails on both sides. You know, a pastor just emailed me, Charlie, couldn't disagree more. I'm not even going to read it, Jack. I'm just, help me understand.
Yeah, it's okay. Isn't it tragic? So that pastor, for example, should read 1 Thessalonians 4, 13 through 18. And Charlie, verse 18 says, and therefore, it's all about the hope of Christ's imminent coming at any moment with no warning. And then he says, therefore, comfort one another with these words. It should be a great comfort. The church's sins were judged at the cross. The church does not go the tribulation period. You can't find the church in the tribulation period. It's all about Israel and tribulation saints. Listen, everybody listen up, especially the pastor that texted or emailed Charlie. There are Old Testament saints. They wear white robes, the Bible says. There is the church age saints, the bride of Christ. She wears linen, fine, bright, and white. And then there's the tribulation saints that are beheaded for their faith, and they're giving white robes. You've got Old Testament saints, tribulation saints wearing white robes, and you've got the church in the Bible wearing fine white linen, clean and bright, which is none other than a wedding gown. You need to remember that when you look at this. Also keeping in mind that the church, and we're living right now, Charlie, at a time, this is the first time in human history where the church And Israel as a nation has existed at the same time. God is shifting away, almost done with the church. He's going to call the church up and dial down on Israel as promised. But we must understand the difference. When the Bible talks about saints, you need to ask the question, what's the context of when it talks about saints? Because the Bible says the saints will be beheaded in the tribulation period. The Bible says the saints will die for their faith. Don't confuse those saints with the church. Those are the tribulation saints. The church in Revelation 19 is in heaven. She's not spoken of anywhere in the book of Revelation after chapter 4. The next time she's mentioned, Charlie, she's in heaven. The question is, how'd she get there? Answer is John 14 and 1 Thessalonians chapter 4.
So Jack, this is so powerful. What I love about your approach is also then what is to be done. Because some people might agree with everything you've said, and they said, well, therefore, who am I to get in the way of God's plan? It's not falling apart, it's falling into place. Let's just run to the hills and let the storm pass. You have a completely 180-degree different approach, which is what, Jack Hibbs?
Yeah, the Bible says occupy till he comes, right? The Bible tells us to be salt and light, that we are to make a difference in this world. Yes, Charlie and I together are involved in a lot of things that are to affect our culture. We are fighting porn in public schools.
Yes.
Our church, Charlie knows, our